I'm going to do a video for everyone to better understand assignments, how to create them, how to create a template. Uh, the new deployment feature, as Brian shown in the PowerPoints, is great. I think it's a lot more intuitive, a lot easier to use. Downside is you have to choose people, which works well unless you're just deploying a unit and want to use the system to hire for it. You can deploy a unit, use fake people, and then just delete them. That's one option. Another option is to just create an assignment for that day. And one of the things that we use often under more options in the top right is templates, which we built. The problem with deploying a template is the templates that we've created work, but like let's say you wanted to just deploy 57 for the day. Well, you can do that. The challenge is the templates are built for whatever hours that unit was set for when we built the assignment. So see how this is 24 hours. Well, if you just wanted to do 57 for 8 hours for some kind of upstaff, this doesn't work for you because you can't change times. So templates work if the unit and the hours are perfect. If they're not, you can deploy with a new deployment tool, which isn't on this training, but it will be coming here soon. Or you can just create an assignment for that day, but it's a little bit complicated, so I'll walk through that. Let's say that you wanted to create an assignment, go to the crew scheduler, edit assignments. Pretty straightforward, just add an assignment. Let's say you wanted to make it 9357, upstaff, call it whatever you want. The starting date was today, let's say. And let's say it was going to start at 8 a.m. and end at 5 p.m. You don't have to choose the work codes. You can just let them all go if you want. You can put a location. Let's say we're going to staff it with 3. It's not going to repeat. You want it to be a work shift. If you want self-scheduling enabled, you can. And that's pretty much it. You just hit save, and that'll create the assignment. So you'll see it at the top of this. And just so everybody knows, this order is how the roster gets printed out every day. So if you wanted to move the upstaff somewhere else, you just slide it. You can see we had 84 upstaff, which I built for Kyle's thing yesterday. It's passed. So now you can either delete it, but we don't usually want to delete things just because that takes it off the roster. So I'll just slide it down beyond anything that you see daily. But it's not showing up anyways because it was yesterday. So I could just slide it down all the way to the bottom. I could slide all these are all old assignments that are passed on the roster. Eventually they'll disappear or go to archive. All right. I think we're good now. All right. So there's an assignment. All that is an assignment. That doesn't do you any good. You got to actually make it show up on the roster, and then you got to add the qualifiers to that assignment so that the system actually hires for those positions that you want. So once you created the assignment, then you can just go to the assistant module, and once you're in the assistant module, you go to the let's see, assignment rules. And now you want, so assignment rules, add an assignment. This is 9357 upstaff. And now it's here, and then you add the qualifiers you want. So this is what you have to do to build an assignment. If you want, so the first part is building the assignment. This part is actually putting the qualifiers in there so that it hires for you. And it's complicated, but it may be necessary. and it may be easier for people to just create it with the deployment and then just delete, but I figured I'd show you how to do it. Engineer and firefighter. Okay, so now you have the assignment, you have the qualifiers. The third step is to put it on the actual crew scheduler. So then you want to go back to crew scheduler, go to assignments, and go to daily view. So this is our columns that are set up. These are the assignments that are within the column. This is past, so we don't need, but we could put it at station 1. All right, so now you have the daily view. So if I went to today, we made an assignment, we created the qualifiers, we added it to the daily view. So now there's only one final step, but if we go to today, we should see 9357. On the daily view, we added it. We added the 3 qualifiers, and it's only for today from 8 to 5 for 9 hours. So that's it, except for the final step, which is how do we make it actually call these positions? And so how we do that is you go to the back to the qualifiers, you go to the assistant settings, and you'll notice in the assistant settings 30 days out, it says 31 but it's really 30. At 5:45 it analyzes these positions, and you can see the new position automatically is selected, but we don't want 50 in Petaluma. We may not want it to go out 30 days, so we can just turn it off. And you can see the Rancho stuff's turned on because they want 30 days. But if you scroll down to the second analyzed period, this is 14 days, so this includes the Petaluma stuff. So we want 57 to hire, let's say 14 days out. And it's also in the third analyzed period. So you have to, this is the final step. You have to make sure it's selected so that it actually calls those positions. So tonight at 6, it would fill, in theory, I'm going to delete it, but it would fill that shift. So just going back through it, those are the 4 steps. First you got to go to assignments. You got to create an assignment, edit, create the assignment. Once you create the assignment, you got to give it the qualifiers under the assistant module, under assignment rules. So we did that, 9357 up step, we added the 3 qualifiers. Then we got to add it to the daily view, so you actually see it on the roster. We did that here. And then you got to actually turn on the assistant module for it to call it. You could just manually send it out, but if you wanted it to call, those are the last steps. So that's under assistant settings, and just check that box. So that's how you do an assignment. And if you wanted to create 9357 upstaff template where you could just not have to create a template every time, you can go over here and you can deploy templates, and you can create them, deploy them, but you have to be able to create the template first, which I think that's under edit assignments. Yeah, manage templates. So I could create, a new template, if you will, called 9357 upstaff or something like that, which is cool. Except for, the downside is you'd have to the template would only deploy for those 9 hours. So I don't have a lot of templates. Aren't always super useful unless there's already, you build an assignment that's perfect for you every time. Usually 24-hour ones work well. All right, I'm going to delete everything, but hopefully that helps explain how to build assignments and how to make them get calls or go out on the assistant module. But like I said, simpler to just create it in the deployment and delete people.